say isn't meant to stop you returning home. As far as I care, you can go wherever you wish. But I want you to know how you have behaved towards me, and how I have treated you. I'll begin, as is right, with my father, Philip. When he found you, you were mere peasants, wearing hides, tending a few sheep on the mountain slopes, and you could barely defend them from your neighbors. Under him, you began living in cities, with good laws and customs, and he turned you from slaves into rulers over those very barbarians who used to plunder your land. He conquered most of Thrace, taking the best harbors so there was trade and prosperity, and put the mines to steady work. The Thessalians, they used to terrify you. Well, we rule them now. The Athenians and Thebans, always looking for a chance to attack Macedonia, were so humbled, myself playing my small part in the war, that they no longer take tribute from Macedonia, but instead depend upon us for their protection. My father went to the Peloponnese and put their house in order. Then he was declared supreme commander of all the Greeks for the campaign against the Persians. An honor not just for himself, but for all Macedonians. This is what my father Philip did for you. Great enough on its own, but small compared to what you've gained from me. I crossed the Hellespont, even though back then the Persians still commanded the sea. I defeated the satraps of the great King Darius, and made you rulers of Ionia, Aeolis, Phrygia, and Lydia, and took Miletus by siege. The rest of the land surrendered willingly, and their wealth became yours. All the riches of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight, are yours now. Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all belong to you. The wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the jewels of India and the outer sea. You are now satraps. You are generals and captains. What have I held back for myself apart from this purple cloak and diadem? Nothing. No man can point to my riches, only the things I hold in trust for you all. And what would I do with them anyway? I eat what you eat. I get no more rest than you. Many times I have spent the night on watch so that you could sleep soundly. Who among you believes he's worked harder for me than I have for him? Come on! If you've got scars, strip and show them to me. I'll show you mine. There isn't one part of my body, the front at least, that doesn't bear a wound. My body's covered in scars from every weapon you can think of. Swords, arrows, stones, clubs. All for the sake of your lives, your glory, and your wealth. And yet here I still am, leading you, as conqueror of land and sea, rivers, mountains, and the plains. We've celebrated our weddings together. Many of your children will be cousins of my own. I've paid off your debts without asking how you got them, even though you're paid well enough and pillage every city we take. Many of you wear golden crowns, badges of courage and honor given you by me. Any one of us who was killed, who met a glorious end, we buried with full honors. Many now stand immortalized by bronze statues in Macedonia. Their families are honored and pay no taxes. Under my command, not one man has been killed fleeing the enemy. And now I wanted to send back some of you who've been wounded or crippled, or have grown old, to be welcomed back home as heroes. But since you all wish to go, then all of you, go! Go home and tell them that your king, Alexander, conqueror of the Persians, Medes, Bactrians, and Scythians, who now rules over the Parthians, Chorasmians, and Hyrcanians as far as the Caspian Sea, who's marched over the mountains of the Hindu Kush, crossed the Oxus and Tanais rivers, even the Indus, first to cross it since Dionysus himself. I would have crossed the Hyphasis too if you hadn't cowered in fear. Who sailed into the Great Sea from the mouth of the Indus. Who crossed the desert of Gedrosia, where no one had ever led an army. Who took Carmenia, while my fleet sailed the Persian Gulf. When you get home, you tell them that when you made it back to Susa, you abandoned him and went home, leaving him under the protection of the foreigners you'd conquered. Perhaps this report of yours will seem glorious in the eyes of men, and worthy in the eyes of the gods. Be gone!
Thank you to all the Patreon supporters who helped create this video. If you'd like exclusive early access to videos like this, and the chance to vote on future topics, please visit the Epic History TV Patreon page.
Such a fucking hole, I love it. I know you like it more, I love it. And fuck you.
The Killer Roy, 1,000 miles, 97.5.
When we talk Conor McGregor said that if he wins at 145 pounds, he wants to move up to 155. What do you think?
No, you know, I like Conor McGregor. He come 155. He's striking guy. I like him. I think he can beat Jose Aldo, maybe finish him.
Do you like his trash talk?
His trash talk is no bad, and he know how make money, everything. And 5-0 in UFC, 4 finish, and you know, these guys know easy money.
Who do you predict is going to have it? I think Khabib will get the lightweight belt.
Charge! Cavalry! Diamond formation!
The army to recharge on a little fat ass lad. In 2012, I have a question. Who charged you on me? That's my bollocks. No, I send you a message. We talk with you. Yeah, mercy. Yes. I don't serve the blokes, mate. It's not my team. Okay. It's not my team. Why now it's serving the message? Like without everybody. We're gonna play. We're gonna play 6 October. See. I hope so. I hope so, because if you pull out like...
Is it worth the time? But baby, it doesn't make me crazy. Thinking about you every day, wishing you'd appear.
Riders, at the double!
And maybe I'm losing it 'cause lately
can wait.
Oh shit! Food and sauces in the bag. You have a great night. God bless you.
Missile infantry ready! Hold position! Hell tasks! Slingers!
Some guy was talking about how Putin and Biden shook hands, and then how Putin looked away, and then Biden's looking him in the eyes, as if he's trying to say, in any way, Putin is scared of Joe Biden. That Joe Biden is like dominating Putin. You can't possibly believe what you're saying is true. That Putin, who's a fucking straight up killer, literally, and a judo black belt.
Another thing you do, as far as jamming, you understand what jamming is. Jamming works when you take two contradictory images and juxtapose them. And so Christian people hate the idea of the Nazis and skinheads and the KKK. So what you do is you portray people who are against same-sex marriage as being akin to Nazis, skinheads, and the KKK. Since nobody wants to be accused of being a Nazi, a skinhead, or the KKK, eventually nobody's going to want to be accused of being anti-same-sex marriage. This is jamming. This is why in your average Sunday sermon from a pastor that deals with homosexuality, the first third of it will be apologizing.
Prepare to engage!
Now, you're a lot bigger than me. The stand, you agree with me?
What is this?
I'm sorry, what's
your next fight?
My match, I'm going to compete with Anderson again on New Year's Day.
Good.
Yeah.
You're doing very well.
Thanks.
Good,
Thanks
good.
for watching.
And
Yeah.
I think, can you see, and you make a child, you say the fight, you make promotion is good, but you need to be careful talking about some things like a Brazil, you're talking bad things about Brazil, you don't know Brazil.
Yeah, sure.
No, respect them.
That's not totally true. I've been to Brazil, actually.
No, it's not Brazil, but I am Brazilian.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Like you're talking about the Nogueira brothers. These guys is a history of this sport. You need to respect these guys.
Sure.
You challenge him is okay. You know, 1-1, no. But the promotion is good, but you need to respect some things. You know? These guys will respect the country, you know. We need to have a good condition about that. Okay? Don't do that.
Sure.
Brazil, you have to think you have respect, you feel lost your teeth. Brazil, we say that. Because we don't know about the future.
Sure. Thank you.
This ain't gonna look good.
It's about damn time. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Feeling fussy, walking in my Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fabulous. Cause I give a fuck way too much. I'ma need like 2 shots in my.
Where did the Persian immortals from 300 come from? They are believed to have originated as a bodyguard unit of Cyrus the Great, which eventually formed the core of the Achaemenid standing army, and whose ranks were reportedly never allowed to drop under 10,000. They bore tall shields, scaled armor, large bows, and distinctive spears with pomegranate designs. In battle, it seems they fought where the action was expected to be the fiercest. Here is one of our only descriptions of this unit in action, where Mardonius was himself riding a white horse in the battle and surrounded by 1,000 picked men who were the flower of the Persians There, they pressed their adversaries hardest. So long as the general was alive, the Persians stood their ground and defended themselves, overthrowing many Spartans. In commemoration of their great legacy, the 1942 Iranian army even created its own Immortal Guard.
Top 4 answers on the board. We asked 100 women. It irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you?
Get dressed.
Get dressed. Come on. Deja, how you doing?
Good, how
So what are you doing?
I am a graphics and social media producer for MSNBC show Politics Nation with Reverend Al Sharpton.
I just had Reverend Al on my show this morning.
Your radio show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington.
He's doing the
It's
march today, yes.
He's doing it today. Wow. That's pretty good, man. All right, good. When we ask 100 women, it irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you?
When you having sex.
What did you sex? When a guy takes longer to do than you. All right, sex! Sandra, we ask 100 women, it irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you?
Finish his chores, Steve.
Finish his chores. Dale, only one strike. Talk to 100 women. It irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you? Eat. Eat. Chrissy, listen to this. If it's there, your family plays sudden death.
Okay.
If it's not there, you're still alive, only one strike. We ask 100 women. It irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you?
Say I love you, Steve.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be mad a lot of times. Say I love you for sudden death.
Let's go.
Wanda, we got one answer left. If it's there, your family gets to play sudden death. But this time you have 2 strikes. If it's not there, the other family can steal and win the game. Tawanda, talk to 100 women. It irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you?
Cook. Family, here is the situation. There's one answer and one answer only. If it's there, your family steals, your family wins the game. If it's not there,
the storm has raged long
Sanderlin
enough,
family
and
gets
now,
to play
at your agreement,
sudden death.
The softer rains
Here we go.
of peace
We ask 100
could be
women.
yours.
It irritates you when a guy takes longer to do what than you?
Go to the bathroom, Steve.
Go to the bathroom for the win. Your ass on YouTube. Your whole damn family on YouTube. Your whole damn family gonna be on YouTube. This about to be on YouTube.
I'm gonna end up on YouTube.
My dear gracious.
Dr. Dre said, hell yeah, and I got a stamp like a postcard, word to mailman. And I know they're gonna hate, but I don't care. I barely can wait to hit him with the snare in the face, square in the face. This fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom.
Is that he actually got his ass kicked by another Okinawan karate master who came to Tokyo and did not like what Funakoshi was teaching people in mainland Japan. His name was Motobuchoki, and he was the greatest.
people are concerned,
I can't even joke no more.
will you not move your armies against them?
You can't even play with racism.
When can you give the orders?
You can't even play. I used to go to the dog park and pretend I lost my dog. And I have white people help me look for him. I'd be like, his name, nigga.
The sword was drawn,
Like,
but now
nigga!
it's bloodied. End this feud. We offer peace today,
You don't
or
like
the
dogs?
sword
Like,
tomorrow.
Nigga! Nigga, please!
My lord is willing to lay down the sword.
Mr. Depp, if Disney came to you with $300 million and 1 million alpacas, nothing on this earth would get you to go back and work with Disney on a Pirates of the Caribbean film.
That is true, Mr. Rottenborn.
Chael, question for you. What is that sitting in front of you, and when did you win that?
Well, for those of you that can't see, this is the World Championship title of which I took from Anderson Silva. And in this country, possession is 9/10 of the law. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. And if he wants it back, he knows where to find me.
Yeah, I think you can get them on eBay.
It is a terrible thing to spread.
That's what I was
We
just
trust
checking.
you have thought long on this.
Talking to Chael's boxing
This may
coach
eventually
yesterday,
invite
and I believe
great.
he was being serious when he said this. He said that Chael is the best boxer in
storm
MMA,
has
and I wanted
raged
to know
long enough.
what you thought of
And
that.
now,
Of course, he's the best boxer, he's the Muhammad Ali, he's the champ, he's everything, of course. And I'm just, just a guy from England trying to fight him. I mean, what chance do I have? Let's be honest, I outbox him every day, all day. He's a great wrestler, but I'm a great fighter. First time I've been an underdog in a fight, and it wouldn't be the first time that I win and prove the odds makers wrong.
Your people's reputation goes
Odds aren't
before
important. What's important is who turns up on the night. The best fighter doesn't always win. The guy who fights best wins, and I'm going to fight the best.
Next question.
And he can keep his fake belt, shove it up his ass.
This question is for
Mike, what did you guys say to each other up there?
I'm not entirely sure. I can't really remember. Something along the lines of that you can forget about that title shot come Saturday night.
Chael, yesterday Mike said that you're a better wrestler, but he's the better fighter. What's your response?
You know, Aaron, I don't walk around looking into cameras and telling people that I'm the best fighter in the world to hear myself talk. I say it for the same reason they put warnings on packages of cigarettes, and fighting Chael Sonnen may be hazardous to one's health.
Yeah, that's probably why he walks around with a fake middleweight world title belt. I'm not interested in fake belts. I'm interested in the real belt. I'm a fan of Chael Sonnen, but unfortunately, just lately, he's starting to look like a court jester as opposed to a fighter. And Saturday night, I'm going to make him look like the fool that he's become.
There's a lot on the line here for you. A rematch against Anderson Silva. How do you focus on Mike, the task at hand, tomorrow night?
When all is said and done, I will still be undefeated and undisputed.
See, it goes back to exactly what I'm talking about. Undefeated, undisputed. He's been defeated many times. And Saturday night, he will be defeated one more time.
Rico on the beat, bitch.
Can you not find the courage to join the war? The monsters we fight may yet bring doom.
doesn't understand these types of things. Anyway, she gets mad at me. Well, she's mad at me now because I got myself in trouble. I got myself extorted, which happens in this business. I come home from the road. There was a FedEx sitting on the kitchen table, and it was addressed to me, so I opened it. I don't know who delivered it. And there was a video cassette inside with a note written on it that said, "Gotcha." Oh my God. Can you imagine? I freaked out. I tore the whole house apart trying to find the VCR. I hadn't seen a tape in like over a decade. And I watched the tape and it was awful. They got me. It was a tape of me. I was fucking a girl, okay? But it was from before I was married. But it was not a good look. And I felt sick to my stomach. And I looked up at the clock, and then I saw my wife was coming home in 10 minutes, and I just panicked. I jerked off to the tape real fast, and then and then I called the FBI, who, by the way, made me feel much better. I mean, they didn't say they were going to cash him for sure, but they had the demeanor of some competent people that would cash him. So I didn't worry about it too much. And then not even a week later, 5 days later, I come home and there's another video cassette just sitting on my porch. As soon as I saw it, I just called the police like, "They've done it again. You should probably look for a guy with bell bottoms on because I don't know who the fuck is sending tapes." And that second tape was the worst shit I'd ever seen in my life. It was awful.